to a post-game edition of 3-Point Conversion, everyone. For TSN 1150, I'm Marshall Ferguson. All right, the lights are on. You're back in the stadium, Tim Hortons Field. It was a great evening for the Hamilton Tiger Cats as they ended up getting the win. It was 42-25, the final at the end of the night. It was a bit of schoolyard stuff, but who that fit perfectly with his skill set? Chad Owens, CO2 in a Tiger Cats uniform, got a tweet in tonight from Clay Chisholm on Twitter, just said he is scary when he's motivated. He is terrifying when he has something to play for. And for the first time, I honestly think in a couple of years, he has something to play for. Now, when he's really going to have something to play for, season opener at the Argos, Labor Day rematch. Expect him to have big games if he's healthy in those, because he looked like he was tuned up and ready to go tonight. He had 5 catches for 98 yards, including a touchdown, which was a great little flood concept that I might be able to throw together a Ticats Chalk Talk to talk about with all of you, the X's and O's of what went on tonight, because it was actually filmed, unlike the Toronto Argonauts game in preseason week 1. It really enjoyable to watch Chad Owens get open, the way that he ran, his route running, the way that he caught the ball confidently, and probably most importantly for Tiger Cats fans, the way that he worked so smoothly, so seamlessly with Jeremiah Masoli, because there's no guarantee that you throw together a 7-year veteran of the CFL with a guy who's never really been a consistent starter before, and they're going to work perfectly together. That's not usually how it works. But when I talked to Jeremiah Masoli at the start of training camp, he said, I have great belief that I'm going to be able to have a comfort level with Chad Owens just because the style that he plays, the fact that he's such a tweener where he can get balls around the edge, he can run zone read stuff, he can go tosses, he can go outside stretch plays, he can catch those quick little balls out of the backfield, he can get vertical on defenders. He's got a great feeling, a great vibe with Chad Owens, and I think that Chad Owens absolutely demands respect across this league now that he's back in this offense. Second up for you here on 3-Point Conversion tonight, late night. Jeez, that was a long game, a lot of flags. Jay Langa, what a play on the ball. That's a free safety making a play like that. Do you know why guys play free safety usually? If you watch a lot of football, you probably do, because they hit really hard, they can cover a lot of ground, and they don't have good hands, so they're just kind of protectors on the back end. Now there's great variation to that across leagues, across teams. Craig Butler has good hands, Mike Daly has good hands. I didn't think Jay Langa had good hands. The play he made tonight, diving in coverage, oh, by the way, playing boundary halfback because he was moved over to make room for others and injuries and everything else that's gone on in training camp, and he made a great interception. Now, he was gifted a pick by Brock Jensen later in the game when he just floated the ball to the sideline trying to throw the ball away. He threw it in bounds and Langa picked it off. But that first interception that he had, that was a legitimately great play. He was already going to make this roster because of his depth. He was a high draft pick, 2014 Defensive Player of the Year in the CIS, now 3-time AUS All-Star, all of that. But to see him make a play like that, that looked to me like a guy that you could comfortably throw in if you ran into ratio problems in your defensive backfield anytime in the near future. I think you might see a little bit more of him than you realize this year because Craig Butler's out. That means that Courtney Stephen has to step up. If Courtney Stephen steps up, that is going to drag Mike Daly with him. And then at some point, if Mike Daly moves up, at some point Jay Langa looks like he might come with them. And who knows, he might be a starter, he might be a rotation guy, he might be a Canadian depth guy, but he's going to find a role on this team based on that play that he made tonight. It's tough to judge off just one play, but overall, there's no mistakes that he made tonight. And if you're going back and watching the film, you got to think he's helped himself out this evening against the Ottawa Redblacks in the big win for the Ticats. Now, I will say this. Chad Owens looked fantastic. Jay Langa looked fantastic. Take everything with a grain of salt, right? Everybody come back down to earth. The preseason is over. All the funny business, all the clown cars that you drive around on the course, it's all over now. It's time to get ready for regular season football. And of course, that will come this Thursday, June 23rd, 7:30 p.m. is the kickoff. Coach Sal and I have the call for you. Pre-game will begin at 6 p.m. with Matt Cos holding it down. I'll also join him on the pre and on the post-game, everything else. Take it with a grain of salt because tonight the Ottawa Redblacks looked like they were kind of the JV team and they were playing the seniors. Like, that's the way that it came off to me in that first opening drive, just getting bullied off the ball. CJ Gable got into the end zone. It seemed like they're finally in a spot with the Ticats and their depth where their second team can beat up on your second team. But the thing that I wasn't crazy about when I was trying to evaluate this game right away is that every play that was made, you really have to go back and look at who is this guy that they made the play against. How long has he been in the league? How comfortable is he with this team, with this roster? Because there's some names out there that you're not going to see at any point this year in the regular season. So be excited, be pumped about Chad Owens, enjoyed the way Jeremiah Masoli played, loved the return game, didn't even get to see Speedy Banks. But wait until the regular season to start making your true evaluations of this team, because I think the preseason can be a little bit deceiving. Looking forward to catching up with everybody throughout the week on Marsh and Milton, talking all sorts of CFL football, and of course, got the call for you Thursday evening right here on TSN 1150.